All right, gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here on Zabby. It is October, and the millet fields are ready to harvest, which is kind of exciting. We've never done millet before, and yeah, it's an interesting colored crop when it's ready to harvest. Somewhere between like a sorghum-ish kind of colored look crop and I don't know. I guess really just kind of a sorghum-ish colored crop is really what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, it's a very interesting crop. I'm happy that we actually were able to get it in. 2 fields specifically that we have ready to harvest today. The field we're harvesting now, and then field 32 up there. Both of those are ready to harvest today, so that's going to be... Oh, I'm sorry, not 32. 26, excuse me. At least I think 26 is ready to harvest, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we got both of those fields ready to harvest today, so that's good. We are able to drop straw on this, which is interesting. So we will be able to get some straw off the field on this one as well, which is good. I do have a few other mods that I've got installed on the series here, more specifically around the realm of doing the cows that we were talking about. If you remember previously, last couple episodes ago, I was looking at one with a big kind of open pin-like view, but it really didn't provide us, unfortunately, with any kind of milk or slurry or manure or anything like that. I have installed some other ones. The ones that I have installed, though, are not an open-air kind of concept. They're within, you know, a shed, basically, like you would do normally for your cows when it's the winter months, right? You keep them underneath some cover. So it's been unfortunate there, but at the same time, it won't produce enough cows anyway. Excuse me, not cows. It won't produce enough water buffalo anyway for us to be able to meet the rules there on Threat 3, right? So I think the most we can get is 50, I think, on one of those. So we would obviously need quite a few. But, you know, if we put it down, it would at least get us started and be able to start producing a little bit more money for us, which is really where the struggle is right now, is we're just not making that much money yet, right? We really need to start making some good money, and we're going to soon enough. But we're not quite there yet. We need a little bit of help to get there, and I think you know, go ahead and get started at least on the water buffalo, considering how much grass and straw we have, among numerous other things, right? I think it's going to only help us, you know, leap towards that point of making a little bit more money on this series. So we'll see. It's not going to be today. We've got enough to do today, as a matter of fact, but here in these winter months when we have less to do, that's definitely going to be something that we're going to start to consider and actually probably start putting down here very soon. So how's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. Things have been struggling lately. I mentioned this in yesterday's Survive 25 series. If you haven't watched yesterday's episode, I recommend you do it. But it's been a bit of a struggle for multiple reasons. Work has been, again, absolutely insane. I mentioned this briefly before, I think. I'll mention it again briefly now. The company I work for, they let the president of the company that I work for go last week, actually. And so it's been a bit of a struggle. It's been extremely stressful, more stressful than it already normally is. We're at a point where I have to, and along with everyone else in the company, have to justify my position. So it's not a good time right now. So unfortunately, my time has been far and few between. And then this last weekend, I had some other issues that were going on. It wasn't even work related. That prevented me from getting a video out on Monday of this past week. So I apologize for that. But we're back in the groove now. Hopefully we won't have any more of those issues, but you never know. As far as my job specifically goes, I really don't know what to say there. It could be at jeopardy, may not be at jeopardy. I honestly don't know. I don't know which way we're going to go. I think, obviously, for the first at least couple of weeks here, I'm probably safe, but there's no guarantee that that's going to stay that way once they kind of make the decision on what they're going to do with the company and us in general. So I guess we'll see, right? We'll see. I will say that the company that, or the client, I should say, I guess, that I am mostly in charge of is our largest client. So I'm the only hope I guess I have there, and I hope I don't kill anything here. No, it looks like we're okay. The only saving grace, I guess, in that essence that I have is that, you know, I am on the largest client, and they need that largest client, and if they were to get rid of me, they would have to find somebody else really quickly to run it. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm safe in the long run, but at least for a short term, I'm hopefully safe. But I guess I'll find that out here in the next couple of weeks, months, whatever it may be. So anyway, it's just been a lot, man. There's a lot going on, and I don't want to sit there and harp on it and make anybody feel bad for me. That's not the point. I just always like to make sure that I'm very honest with all of you, all right, about what's going on in my life, and I, you know, certainly it's not normal for me to miss, you know, putting a video out very often. It happens occasionally, sure, but it's very rare. So I just want to be straightforward with you. In this instance, it wasn't really something I could do anything about, so it is what it is, right? So anyway, we are in the middle here of getting the millet done. Looks like we're getting a really good yield out of that because we didn't even make it all the way around the headland pass here yet, and we already had a full load of millet, so that's good. I think moving forward, with the exception of doing what I already talked about, you know, the bean and the buckwheat, because I think that's the only thing really, the only major thing really, that we have not done. Well, I don't think we did lentil either, did we? But mostly that's the only things that really I wanted to try to focus on getting done on this series, just because I've never done it before and I wanted to do it. But I think for the most part moving forward here, we're just going to be going for a very heavy approach of trying to make as much money as possible. So in other words, utilizing crops that are going to produce the most money for us in current state. So that means canola, soybeans. Well, we don't have a planter, but whatever we can do with the drill that we have. So soybeans. And then obviously we'll be doing some grass work for the upcoming water buffalo, of course, right? So we're going to kind of focus on that pretty heavily here. Just try to get things moving along and be able to continue to progress here. Now, I believe, yes, our soybean field is also ready to harvest today. So we've got a lot of harvesting to do today. The odds are we're going to be doing 2 episodes here in October. I don't see a way that we get everything we need to get done today in 1 episode. I just don't think that's physically possible with the size of the harvester we have and how slow it is. I don't think it's even remotely possible. So we'll have to do 2 episodes because that soybean field is quite large, and kind of go from there. But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully you're doing better than I'm doing. Hopefully things turn around for me rather quickly. I hate being in this situation, but you know, it is what it is, right? There's not much I can do about it. It's decisions above my pay grade. I can't make any decisions like that, so fingers crossed I don't lose the job. But if I do, at least for a brief period of time, I'll have a heck of a lot more time to put in towards the channel and hopefully get some more videos and stuff going, right? Hopefully. But let's hope that's not the case, right? Let's hope that's not the case. So a couple other quick notes. The shop will be going live fully this weekend. I can tell you that it is live right now for anyone who is on my Discord and who is a member. They're getting early access, so if you want early access to check that out, make sure you join the Discord. There's a link down below. Otherwise, I will make sure that it's formally announced this weekend as a go live for the shop. So if that is something that interests you, if you're looking for some kind of farming merch or others, I've got some other shirts out there. As I mentioned, the shop is going to be kind of a collaboration between this channel and my second channel, which is not Farming Simulator related at all. But I will have them separated out in their own groups, you know, a farming related, you know, tab and then a other related tab, right? So that's going to be coming this weekend, which is exciting. Glad that we got that under control. New series I've been kind of teasing for a while. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Might have to be put on hold for a little while because I'm still having issues with ModHub. Still, I was able to kind of get by a little bit and get a map downloaded with utilizing the little Wi-Fi trick that a lot of you were telling me about. But I'm now going to that Wi-Fi and trying to do that same trick to get another map downloaded, and it won't download. So we're back to square one here. I don't know what's going on. Now, having said all of that, I do have one map installed. It's a correct statement. The one map that I've installed, the work I'm going to have to put in to get it set up the way that I want is taking a little bit longer than I had thought or anticipated it would take. So I'm not saying that that series won't come out soon. It probably will. But if I want to set it up the proper way, I need a little bit more time, and time is not something I have a lot of right now. So I'm probably going to delay it another week or two, unless, of course, I'm able to get another map installed. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why would that make a difference? Well, if I get another map installed, I've got another idea for a shorter series, kind of a mini-series, if you will, somewhere between 20 and 30 episodes, nothing crazy, that I would like to run. And I think, given the amount of work that I actually have to put into this, but it's more work than I thought I was going to have to put into it, given the amount of work I want to put into it and make sure that it is presented the way that I'm hoping for and the way that I expect and want to see, I think I need a little bit more time, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, right? So if I'm able to get another map downloaded, I'm positive we can get another series running quickly. One that I definitely want to do is one of the two that I was kind of teetering back and forth between. And so if I'm able to get another map downloaded, I'm probably going to run that series just so it gives me even more time to actually set up this other series the way that I want. Because it really, I don't want to rush it. That's the last thing I want to do is rush the series to be out just to have a series come out. So personally, since I know for a fact now what I have to do, and now that I'm in the map and can play around with it and see how I want to set things up, for me personally, I would rather just spend the extra week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it may end up taking, to make sure that it's, you know, it's set up and received as well as I'm hoping for it to be. In other words, what I actually present when we first run the first episode of that series, it's what I'm expecting and what I want. And right now, if I was to go ahead and start that series now, it's not what I would want, right? And so I need to spend a little bit more time, a little bit more effort, a little bit more maneuvering around with trying to set things up properly. And what I mean by that is, you know, if I was on PC, there's some mods you could utilize that makes it easier. Not a complaint, just the truth. There's some mods you could do that make things a little bit easier for you. I don't have that luxury because I'm on console. And since I don't have that luxury, I kind of have to shimmy my way around a little bit on some things that I'm trying to do or I'm looking to do. And what I mean more specifically by that is trying to make sure I'm starting with the right amount of money, the right amount of equipment, the right amount of land, have the land set up and the different placeables down that I want, right? And still have the money where I want it to be, have the, you know, if there's going to be a loan or whatever, I have all of that set up properly. It's a lot more difficult logistically to try to get that to align properly, especially, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but that's not really giving anything away, but I have to spend a lot of money trying to do some land manipulation for what I'm trying to do here. And as we know, land manipulation is not cheap, right? It's very expensive. I believe on console, not console, I believe on PC, in comparison to console, I think they have a way to kind of get around that a little bit. By kind of forcing money into the account and removing money from the account. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury on console, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. So I have to kind of work within the means and the restrictions that I have. Again, I'm not complaining whatsoever about it. I'm just saying it's another challenge, another hurdle that I have to, you know, get by on. So that's really where the problem is right now, is I'm just trying to get that hurdle properly set, and I'm struggling to get it there, and so I don't want to just release it without being 100% fully happy with what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. That was a long-winded explanation there, but I hope it makes sense. So that's where we're at. But we'll see, right? We'll see. For the time being, we still at least have 3 series that we can actively run, right? Which is a good thing. I would be probably a little concerned if I was only able to run this one and the island preservation. Not that either one of them are bad. Really enjoy them. A lot of people seem to enjoy them, but I do think 3 series running at the same time is a good sweet spot. 4 can certainly work, and I've done it many times before, and it probably will happen at some point here a little bit later on when we kick back up the Survive 25 series. But I think any more than that, you're just got too much going on, right? 3, I think, is the best spot, and you know, occasionally 4 if you're just going to do one series that's once a week, which is really, in my opinion, where the Can You Survive 25 series happily sits, is in a once-a-week type of situation. But for the time being, we'll continue to run that series twice a week until we're able to get another map downloaded, or I'm able to fully set up the new series that I really want to get started for Z's Adventure the right way. Let's see, what else? What else can I talk about? What else do I need to talk about? What else haven't I talked about? Island preservation, doing really well there. I believe the next episode... Is it the next episode or the following episode? I think it's the next episode. We're going to be jumping to the month where we sell all of our clothes. If it's not the next episode, it's the following episode. So we're very, very close to making an insane amount of money. And when that time comes, we are really going to start to make huge progress on that series, right? We are far into that series at this point with very little to show for it, in my opinion. And I would say the similar situation, but probably to a lesser extent here. We definitely have things to show here. We've got a number of the fields that we already have to own, right? Which is a good thing for us. But That's just how it works. You know, the first couple of years, mostly in games like this, when you have these type of challenges, it's a struggle to get there, right? So we're a little behind where I would hope and want us to be at for both series, but we'll get there, right? I said this series, and I truly mean it on this series. I don't want to rush this series at all. I want this series to last for a long time, and I do mean that, and that's the reason why we were doing some of these other crops that... why am I going this way? Why did I go this way? I'm just talking away, not paying attention to what I'm doing. You know, but that's the reason why, you know, we were doing a bunch of these extra crops on this series, is because I don't want it to necessarily end early. I really enjoyed this series, so... Anyway, we've got 7,000 liters of millet in here. This is likely going to be full or very near it when we're done unloading here. And we're going to have to get the rest of this field harvested. I'm going to do the other millet field as well today. I think I'm going to hold off on the soybean field until the next episode. We are definitely going to be doing 2 here in October. You know, all this straw, we don't really need all this straw. So on the next field that we harvest, I may not even do a straw drop here. I might just spread. Understanding that I'm not going to... In theory, I'm going to lose a little bit of money going that approach because I can make money off the straw, right? But I just don't think we need to do all that straw. It takes a long time to do all of it. It really does. Now, to be fair, I guess what I should be looking at more specifically than anything, and before I go down this rant, because I might just be eating my words here in a minute, but you know, I mean, we're in the winter months, so I guess it doesn't really matter, right? I guess I might as well do straw on all of them, because besides wheat, I mean, we're not really... Well, we've got barley, we've got wheat, I guess we've got stuff we can do today, right? We've got barley, wheat, rye. I guess there's stuff we can put back in this month. It means we'd have to do probably even a third episode. I don't see any way we can get all of this done and actually reseed something unless we do a third episode. So maybe that's what we end up doing. Who knows? Don't listen to me. I might change my mind. But you know what we got to do. I've rambled for long enough. Let's get into it. that took a lot longer than I thought it would take for us to be able to finish this field, and I feel like I say that often on this series, but it is the case. It's just the harvester we have it's just not that great. We really need to make an upgrade to that harvester really badly. But as it currently stands, we really can't do that, so we're gonna have to play it by ear until the time comes where we can do something with it. Okay, so I want to look at a few things. We know for a fact we need to go and get some of the peas out of the actual greenhouse. We know that for a fact. So next month we'll make some decent money here on the canola. As a matter of fact, the canola price actually isn't terrible right now, $1,002, but I think we can probably get a little bit better than that. So I'm going to hold off on that. The peas are next month as well. So yeah, next month is going to be a big month for us. We're going to make, hopefully, a decent amount of money. Now, I did go ahead and put the worker on starting the harvest already on the other field down here, the smaller field down here near where our greenhouse is. So we'll have that working for us. I have the worker, rather, working for us as we move along here. I am going to take a bit of a shortcut here. I'm going to cut through our neighbor's plowed up field here, and they're going to yell at me, but that's all right. I'm still going to do it anyway. Just going to make my life a little bit easier by cutting through there. Now, this is likely completely full of peas, the actual storage here of the greenhouse, so that's the reason why I want to go ahead and get these out of here so we can continue to produce. It's actually not full. Are we out of something? No, we're not out of anything. It's still producing. It's just taking longer, which is a good thing, I guess. Well, I mean, the max you could have is 15,000, so that it was pretty much maxed out, so it probably wasn't really making a whole lot because of that reason, right? So we'll unload this and then allow this to continue to produce, which is good, right? That's going to be more peas for us that we can go and sell. Obviously, we've got quite a bit. It's going to be a significant help when it does come time to sell these next month. Obviously, we're getting around somewhere in 638. As a matter of fact, right now, the best average price is 645, which is better, and it's going up still. But that's better than the average best price. So we might want to consider selling these today. Well, or at least in October. Now, maybe not necessarily today, but at least in the October month. We may want to consider selling them since it is a better price than what the average best is. So we very well may end up doing that. I don't think... Where is that, actually? Where is the small... Ooh, actually, 655. That's even better. And it's dropping. Preserved Food Factory. Yeah, we've been in this area. I don't know. Did we sell them here? I thought we sold them here last time, but maybe we did sell them there. I don't remember. That's a pretty good price, though. You know what? I'm going to go and sell these now. I think that's in our best interest right now, actually, to go ahead and sell the peas. I mean, 655, I can't imagine, given the fact that the best average price is 638, I cannot imagine we're going to get better than 655 next month. If we do, then I'll eat my words, but I can't imagine we do. I really can't. And we really could use the money. We really could use the money right now. Yeah, I think we're going to sell all of the peas here and see what we end up getting. So we'll do the first trailer load here, so you can see what the average prices we're going to get. And then I'll make some trips kind of off camera probably until we get to the last load of peas, and we'll see how much money we get here. I'm hoping for a good chunk here because I really want to make an upgrade to the harvester at a bare minimum. Obviously, we've got a lot of things that we're going to be selling here in the winter months coming up. We've got a lot of crop to sell. And so I'm really hopeful that all that crop sale will allow us to really progress a lot further here on this series. More specifically along the lines of buying some more fields we need to buy and or potentially buying... I don't think we're going to get that much money, unfortunately, but... potentially buying the production we need to buy, right? The production we need to buy is pretty expensive. It's actually right near where we are right now. It's this one right here, and this oil mill is $240,000, so it's not cheap. So yeah, we got $6,550 for one trailer load plus 657 environmental scores. So near it makes no difference. Slightly over $7,000 is what we're going to be making every time we come and sell these here today, which is good. We've got a decent amount, as a matter of fact, in storage, right? We've got 42,000 liters in storage. There's another 5,000 or around 5,000 liters in that greenhouse. So it should get us pretty close to 50 grand, I would think. Probably a little over that. I'll make some trips here. I'll meet you back at that shop there when we're on the last trip. Now, to be fair, during that period of time, I'm also going to have to probably make some trips for the worker who's doing the harvest here. As a matter of fact, it looks like they are probably full right now, so maybe I should just go ahead and do it now. They were going around the headland there. No, they're not full. They are not full, but they are going around the headland right now. And they're at the very end. I would expect them to be full pretty quickly, though. Don't expect there to be much more in there. Let's take a peek. Let's just take a peek and see where they're looking at. Yes, 79%. So I kind of feel like I should probably just go ahead and unload the worker now so they can continue. I don't want them to kind of sit there and wait, you know, for something to be done. Now, the problem right now is, well, quite frankly, the problem is, I'm just going to go ahead and unload it this way. I was going to say, because the problem right now is, you know, they're still doing headland passes, and when they get full, and they will still be in a situation where we're going to have to stop them no matter what anyway. So we might as well go ahead and just unload it now, and then that way I can take this up there to the silo, unload it into the silo, and then I can fill up some peas there, and then the next time we come back here, I'll obviously take the peas out of the greenhouse, whatever's in there at that period of time. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and touch up this little spot right here by the tree, because they're never going to get that. We're going to have to do it anyway. And since we kind of have control of it right now, we might as well just go ahead and do it right now. That's the way I see it, at least. All right, back on a worker. We'll take this up to the silo, like I mentioned. And then, yeah, I'll be back with you once we've pretty much sold all of the peas, except for the last load. Okay, this is the last load of peas that we actually have at current. We're at $44,000 currently. I think we're barely just going to make $50,000, so I was pretty much right on the money there at the beginning with my first guess. So that's good. The worker has almost finished the field. I had to actually go ahead and unload the worker a couple of times in the process here of making these trips, selling the peas here. So again, this is the last load we have. It's only 8,000. It's not a full load, so it won't be the amount that you saw before. But it'll be close, and like I said, we'll probably hit 50,000 only just, though. Ooh, we might be a little short, actually, now that I say that. Yep, just slightly short. 49,828 is where we leave off with. The worker, as you just noticed there, has just finished the job. In the other field, there might be a few little, you know, areas that we need to kind of touch up a bit, if you will. But we're going to do all of that in the next episode. We're going to leave this one here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like, subscribe button in the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do, and it helps me out an absolute ton. It's the easiest and by far the best way to help me and the channel out. If you want to become a member, there's a link down below. I want to thank each and every single one of my members for all their continued support, especially during this time period where things are a little rough in my life right now, and I haven't had as many videos out there for them to watch early as I normally would. So thank you, each and every one of you, for continuing to support me. It really does mean the world. New shop coming up this weekend. Like I mentioned, if you want early access to it, check the Discord out. There's a link down below. Also, check out the second channel. Check out everything else in the description. As always, it's down there for you to check out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support as always, and we'll see you next time.